should be able to see the comments as well if anyone pops them. But I'll keep an eye on the Facebook group. All right. Welcome, Sinead and Alaina. Thank you for joining us. So they are from Offering Tree, and they're going to be doing, this is a bonus presentation for everyone on the 5 simple ways to grow your online business with SEO. So I'm very excited to share that with you. I know I've talked to a few of you today that I said this will be really useful for you, and I'm sure there's plenty more people in here that this is going to be super valuable. So I will let you take steam ahead and jump in. So thank you for coming.
Thanks, Adrienne.
All right. Yes, everyone, welcome. I'm, as was mentioned, my name's Alaina, and this is Sinead. We both work at Offering Tree, and we're here today to talk about SEO. And I'm gonna try to keep it as simple and like actionable as possible. So we're gonna discuss 5 simple ways to grow your online business with SEO. But before we get started really talking about what to do, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page about what SEO is, because it's often boring, and I see a lot of eyes glaze over when people start talking about SEO. So that is not the goal here. We're going to keep it interesting and keep this part brief. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. And simply put, it's just doing stuff to your website that increases your visibility on search engines like Google whenever people search for services or information that you provide. This is meaningful because the more visible the pages of your website are in the search results, the more likely you are to be found and clicked on. So the main goal of SEO is organically attracting website visitors from search results. Organically attracting website visitors who are interested in what you have to offer, and ultimately become loyal repeat customers. And a key word that I mentioned there is organic. You'll often hear website traffic from search results referred to as organic traffic. So now you know what that means exactly. So briefly, I'm going to go over how Google search works. Again, I don't want anyone's eyes to glaze over, so I'm just going to touch on the main points and we will move on. So, and also Google keeps their algorithm specifics tightly under wraps. So again, keeping it high level. And
Alaina, I'm just going to say Ashley's in the chat, Ashley Hagen. Hey, Ashley, should we just do a quick intro of who we are? Because you're a little bit of an SEO expert, aren't you?
Oh, sure. Yeah, like give a little more detail about myself.
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I'm an SEO specialist. I have been working in SEO since I started my career about a decade ago. And I have worked in-house at insurance companies. I've worked at digital marketing agencies and had all kinds of different clients. So I've worked with a bunch of different businesses and have a lot of experience to chat about SEO today.
And for me, my name's Sinead, and I'm just the part of the marketing team at Offering Tree. And I'm also a yoga teacher. I've got an Offering Tree website, and I'm here to learn as well. Everything from Alaina about what I should be doing for my own SEO.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes. So brief explanation of how Google decides what is going to appear in the search results when you type something into the search box. So Google has a bunch of bots or spiders that are always crawling the internet, and to discover new and updated pages. And so once they're on a page, they follow links from one page to another there to discover content. And then once a page is discovered, Google tries to understand what the page is about, and then it puts it in its index. It's pretty much just a large library of everything that Google knows is on the internet. So then when you type a search into the Google search box, the algorithms look into the index to find the most relevant things to serve. So the goal is to match your search with the best pages in the index. And how does it do that? First and foremost, content quality and relevance. So how much value will the content provide for you, and how relevant is it to your search? And then user experience. So is your site easy to interact with? Does it load pretty quickly? Is it mobile friendly? Is it pretty easy to navigate? And then also search intent. So Google tries to interpret the intention behind your search, and it can be one of four things: informational, or you're looking for information, or you're looking to like make a purchase, or you're looking for a specific website or web page, or you're looking to compare brands or services. So it characterizes your search into one of those and then prioritizes results according to that. And then the last is location. So your location can definitely affect the search results. Say I live in St. Paul, Minnesota. So if I type into Google yoga class near me, I won't get results in like LA or New York City. It's all going to be in my neighborhood in St. Paul. So if you have a physical location for your yoga studio, that is important. And there's a bunch of other like things that are at play there, but these are the most important to talk about for us here today. So that's behind us. And I think that was probably going to be one of the most boring part, hopefully. So now we are going to quickly understand why this really matters to you. The long and short of it is, whenever people want to go somewhere, do something, find information, research or buy something, their journey typically begins with a search on Google. People search things trillions of times a year. Organic search is often the main source of traffic for websites, which is why it is important for your website to be search engine friendly. And honestly, if your website is well optimized for search, it's user friendly, it's intuitive to navigate, and it's full of helpful content, which means SEO work has far greater benefits than just increasing your organic traffic. It also builds your credibility and trust, because a nice, beautiful website that works well is perceived as more credible and trustworthy. And it's a more cost-effective and like sustainable marketing growth model, because when you pay for ads, you pay for them. So SEO, you don't have to pay for anything about it specifically. And once you've done the initial effort of like implementing SEO tactics, that compounds on itself, and it gives sustainable growth that you don't have to keep paying for. And then finally, a lot of small businesses end up neglecting SEO and instead focus on like more traditional forms of advertising. So by investing in SEO and just like getting kind of like the basic foundation laid, there's a lot of benefits you can see. Okay, so moving on to number one. So the first thing that you are going to want to do is make sure your website has all the essential pages. Some people think that a website should have a bunch of pages and be really big, but that isn't true, and sometimes is a negative thing. Really, a yoga website just needs a few essential pages. So you'll need a home page, and the purpose of that is to give a great first impression and showcase your business at a high level and what makes you unique. And then an about page that tells your story and builds a connection with your audience. and then your schedule to allow clients and potential clients to check your availability, schedule classes, all that kind of stuff. Ideally sign up, book and pay in advance. That's a good thing to have included available on your website. And then other pages to detail your services and offerings. That might be one page. If you have a lot of them, maybe it'll be a couple. But just kind of detailing other things you offer outside of what you have on your schedule. So like your on-demand content or courses, workshops, consultations, anything like that. And then finally, contact page or your contact information for sure. You can have a whole page that has how to contact you on it, because obviously it's important for people to get in touch with you. Or some people will like have a contact button that just takes the user like to the bottom of the page and they keep their contact information in the footer. That also works, just as long as it's easy to find.
I love this. Ashley's just popped in the comments to say, I like this slide. Good info for website page basics. I agree.
Thank you. So next, lightly audit your site. Like I said, we're keeping it light, keeping it as simple as possible. So this is a list of SEO essentials for individual pages. First, you'll want to make sure each page has a meta description and that each page has a meta title. I know in OfferingTree software, because we have SEO tools built right in, you're just given the opportunity to add a description for a page and the title for the page. But for some other website builders that don't have built-in SEO tools, you might need to like get a plugin or something. But these things are really important because the meta description, which should be like about 160 characters, not words, a concise description of what the page is about. And then the meta title is a descriptive title. It just shouldn't be more than 60 characters because this information is what shows up on Google when it serves your page for somebody. So if your title's longer than 60 characters, it'll be cut off. And it's important to think about these and put some thought into these pieces of information because it can make somebody want to click on your result or move on. Next, you're going to want to make sure that each page, the content is easy to skim and it's easy to get essential information. And also going along with that the page structure is logical. Typically, people are trying to find their answer as quickly as possible when they're Googling things. So don't bury it. Have it right up there in the open. And then removing duplicate content from pages. And this also kind of ties in if you have a blog. So if you have the same content on a few pages, you should only have it on the page where it's most relevant. And then just like point people to that page if you think they need that information. Because, and then similarly, if you're writing blogs, don't publish articles that cover the same concepts, even if you're publishing it later. Just if you have something new to say, update the existing one, because creating duplicate content or things that cover the same topic, then it's called cannibalizing each other. So then neither page will rank and you won't show up at all in the search results. And that is not the goal. Let's see.
That's really good info because I know in some social media marketing courses I've been in, they tell you to repeat. Always keep repeating your message. Never assume that somebody's seen it, but then it's totally the opposite for your SEO, for your blogs, right?
Yeah. And also like, if you have like your business tagline or like that kind of thing, short things like that are totally fine. But like, don't detail all of your services on every page of your website and things like that, like large pieces of information. Yes, one place. And And then make sure that each page has a clear call to action. So the user needs to know what to do next. Otherwise, they're probably not going to do anything. Should they learn more? Should they sign up for a class? Should they book a session? Register? Yeah, don't forget about calls to action. And another tip for like what to look for in your content, remove or rewrite content that's written like a diary entry or is like excessively flowery. It's best to get to the point for SEO purposes. If you have like a personal blog, not a business blog, could be totally different. Do as you please. But for SEO helpful content purposes, it's good to be more to the point. And then finally, for blogs as well, it's important to attribute the author and include the date of publication or the last date that you updated it for establishing credibility, and so people can know they don't want to read advice that was given for finances in 2005. They want finance advice from 2024. And then one extra little tip that I just wanted to add in here. There's a free Google Chrome extension called SEO Meta in one click. And if you download that, it's free. It just makes it really easy to view a page's meta description and title in one click. So if you're not sure if your pages have meta descriptions or meta titles, you can easily find out. Or if you're feeling like you're unsure what it should be, you can sleuth on the competition and see maybe what they're doing and if that's working. So yeah, a good tip there. Next, your Google business profile is very important, especially if you have a physical location. If you have a physical location, this is like the most important thing you should take away from this presentation is about your Google business profile. So definitely, if you haven't done that already, create your Google business profile. And then there is a separate process for verifying your listing. And doing that just like gives your business more legitimacy and also improves your likelihood to rank higher in the search results because of that proven legitimacy. And then choose the right business category. Also, again, that helps Google show your business for the right searches. And then fill it out in as much detail as possible. The more complete your profile, the more Google knows about you and what you offer and can better serve your business to the proper individuals. And it's also good practice to add photos and videos. Businesses with photos receive more requests for directions, more clicks through to their websites. Yeah. And then managing and responding to reviews and encouraging customers to leave reviews and responding promptly and professionally to all reviews are all important things. Yeah, reviews matter a lot. It's important to show that you value customer feedback. And then finally, or not finally, ensure all the information stays up to date. If you're going to be closed on a holiday, or if your hours are changing, or if your address changed, or any number of these things, definitely make sure you keep your information up to date. And then include keywords relevant to your business. So, making sure that including keywords that specify like the specific types of yoga that you offer, or if there's a niche service you provide, or those kind of things. So I wanted to share an example of like a really great business profile. This is an example of one in my neighborhood that I go to. You can see their Google reviews. They're classified as a yoga studio. They have their service options, answering. People ask questions and they answer them. They have like reviews that are in here. Obviously a lot of photos and stuff. Yeah. So that's, I just wanted to share an example in case you were not totally sure what I was talking about, or just wanted to see an example of a great business profile.
That is a really good profile, isn't it? All those reviews. They must do a good job of sharing that link for reviews.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do. Yeah, I think they also like sometimes incentivize people to leave reviews. Like there's also like a coffee shop inside the, as you can see in the space, and yeah, they'll like, oh, free coffee next time you come in or something like that. Because sometimes people need like a reminder, like a little motivation to like go a little bit out of their way to leave you a good or bad review.
Do you get a watery coffee if it's a bad one?
Yeah, seriously. All right. So this next one is, again, related to content. A quick aside, the more advanced that Google's algorithm has gotten over the years, the more that it prioritizes like helpful content made for people that is written with a purpose to like meet needs. So when I say here, create helpful people first content, what does that mean? And also,
hold on. I've just noticed there's a couple of questions in the chat before we move on, just to go back to the Google business. Ashley said, is a Google business profile for online only businesses too?
Yes, online businesses do have, you can make a business profile for your online business. And it is good to have one. OfferingTree has one. It is going to still be beneficial for like your legitimacy as a business to have your business profile established and verified and like filled out. Again, for showing up in local search results, if you have a physical studio, it's very important for showing up in local search results. That's how tiny little studios like this show up above Core Power Yoga, depending where you're at. But yes, there is still definitely there are still benefits to creating, claiming, and filling out your Google business profile if you're just an online business.
And then Adrienne's got a two-headed question. Is your Google business profile more likely to rank first before the website? And will your Google business profile ranking help your website rank higher? So the first one, will it rank first before your website?
It depends. So classic SEO answers always start with it depends. But so it depends on like the nature of the query. So like if somebody types in like yoga class today near me, they'll be served like a map from Google, and then the locations in that map, like that's called a map pack. Everybody I'm sure has seen that. That will be the first thing that appears before like individual search results to click into, because Google reads that as you're like looking for like a physical location right now more than to read about one. So in those kind of instances, your profile definitely may rank higher than your business on the search. But if there's like a slightly different intent behind for a query, then maybe the map won't be shown right away, and your business, your website will be shown. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we've got one more question on it from somebody in the Facebook group. I'm also curious about the business profile for online studios in addition to at-home studios. So teaching only 1 or 2 classes per week in person at my home, but under a business name. So I think what you're asking is, do you have some online content and some in-person content, perhaps? So how would you work that?
If it's your home and you're worried about, you don't want to like put your home address on the, or just wondering about the combination of online and in person, maybe.
Yeah, I think maybe online in person. I know I've got a Google profile for my little business, and you can just not have the address showing.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, for if your business is out of your home and that's what you prefer, you can definitely do that. But you should, yeah, if you offer online services, and even if you only offer some services at home, if you're interested in growing your business, definitely create a Google business profile and include all the information in there.
Yeah, because you can choose all the services you offer, can't you? It lets you, I think it
Yeah,
lets you post things as well, doesn't it? Like classes and things.
Yes, yeah, you can. There is like in the Google profile like interface piece, there is a place for that. And yeah, like you can see here, service options, online classes, on-site services. Yeah.
And we'll share that link in the replay and in the comments as well, right, for Google My Business.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, there's lots of links in here that I have, and we will be sure to share those afterwards. Definitely.
Cool. Okay. Sorry, I interrupted you next.
No, that's good. That's good. It's good to ask the questions as we go along instead of like recalling later what we were talking about. So definitely interrupt me if there's more questions. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. So the creating helpful people first content. A lot of times people will first ask, well, if I haven't been like optimizing my website for SEO, for search engines, haven't I been creating people first content? No, not necessarily. Because what helpful people first content really means is having an intended audience, like a lot of intention behind the content you're creating, and like seeking to solve a specific problem. So I have a list of questions here. Google has like a self-assessment guide to figure out where your content falls on like how helpful, how well does it fall within these guidelines. So just some of the questions. Do you have an existing or intended audience for your business or site that would find the content useful if they came directly to you? Does your content clearly demonstrate firsthand expertise and a depth of knowledge from like using a product service, visiting a place, being a yoga teacher? Does your site have a primary purpose or focus? After reading content, will someone leave feeling they've learned enough about a topic to help achieve their goal? Will reading your content leave them feeling like they've had a satisfying experience? Is there a clear why for each page? So you can see having a goal, talking to somebody specifically, and like seeking to be as helpful as possible is what helpful people first content means. So to keep those guidelines in mind when creating like new content for your website, or if you're looking back on something and are reworking something, keep those guidelines in mind. I would recommend looking at like the self-assessment guide to just see like, okay, maybe I should do this, or just to help give you some guidance. And then the last tip is to build your authority in the digital yoga and wellness space. And why does that matter first? It's important to like on for your website, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Building your authority and helps you just be seen more as like a credible, trustworthy source, and also like displaying your authority, or like having a digital footprint of like being a professional or expert in certain things is also like a positive signal to Google to make you so that you rank higher more often, essentially, because Google does see you as like a more trustworthy person with credibility and expertise. So ways to do that.
And what do we think, what is like high quality content? What constitutes it?
Yes.
Starting to wonder if my content is high quality. I'm like,
So, and a lot of like, definitely when it comes to like creating high quality content, regularly publishing valuable content, that mostly speaks to like blog content. What's on your like main pages of your website needs to be like speak to your audience, and each page like address what that page is for, the purpose. But especially when it comes to like having a blog, regularly publishing content that has value. The keyword there is value. So like if whether your reader is looking for like a recommendation on like what software they should choose, or if they just want to know like what's the difference between these two types of yoga, high quality for wondering the difference between the two types of yoga is answering that question and giving like a full answer to that question and leaving them feeling like satisfied and they got all the information they needed and got it simply and quickly. For like a software, if they have a question about comparing software, then high quality content for that provides value to the reader will have like lay out their options, who each is for, what the pros and cons are of each, maybe like link to reviews, and like really lay out their options and help them understand how to make the best choice. So like you can see in that situation, like both those pieces of content would be valuable, but it's just different in the different context. So just really meeting the needs of the people looking for the content means it's high quality.
And Ashley's just saying, is a blog required for really optimizing SEO on a website?
No, question. It's not. It's not required to have strong SEO. In fact, that's a common question, and that's a good question. Thank you for asking that, because people who create a blog because they feel just like they need to have one just to have one, and like they don't really have enough time or like resources to put into it to make excellent content, and they're just sporadically publishing really thin, boring, unhelpful things, that will be negative. That'll have a negative impact. So like if you
because then it's not like high quality.
Or if you don't have the bandwidth, or you just can't make, then don't, and you'll be better off, and your business can still have a good good visibility online for sure.
Good. I'm breathing a huge sigh of relief here. Thanks for asking that. I'm going to have to write 10 high quality blog posts.
No. Yeah, that's always, I didn't have in my brain to mention that. So Ashley, I'm definitely glad you mentioned that. But yeah, so that brings us to the end. I've got some links and resources here to share. And but before I do that, I'd want to check if there's any other questions.
Ashley had one more question there. What would you say to someone who might think, this is going back to when you're talking about what to share on Google My Business or about the website. What would you say to someone who might think, I don't want to give too much helpful content away on my site because they won't book with me?
Yes. So helpful content and giving away too much good advice. So how do I word this? Answering people's questions with the content on your website doesn't mean that you have to tell them everything that you're an expert about and like give them no reason to book a service with you, because that's not always what people are looking for. So yeah, you don't have to give away all your secrets or your the value or what you have to share in order to create helpful content. Like, it just needs to answer somebody's question. And if the question that's being asked is like something that would only be answered in like if that's somebody would need to book a consultation for that, then like maybe that would be something you would lead on like a service page and talk about services you provide and how you can help people looking for that. But like, you don't have to give them those answers.
Mm-hmm.
Does that
you
make
don't have
sense?
to give away the goods. Yeah, no, it does. That's good. Somebody's asking about the links in the presentation. Yes, we'll be sharing these afterwards. And Adrienne's got a really good question as well. Do blog posts need to be long, like thousands of words, or can they just be specific and useful? Like, how long is the ideal blog?
Excellent question. Classic SEO answer. There is no answer, but as long as it takes to answer the question, like if it's a simple informational question that can be answered in a few paragraphs and not, if it doesn't need 2,000 words, don't write 2,000 words, for lack of a more concise way to put it.
Yeah, because I've heard mixed things on that sometimes longer blog posts hit well, and I guess it all comes back to that idea of high quality, right? It's
exactly. It's what the user is looking for. If it's like, targeted content about what a specific niche thing, they're not looking for like the whole situation. They're just looking for like a small sliver of the pie. You don't have to give them the whole pie. It can just be the sliver. And a good way to help assess, like if you're writing a blog post and you're not sure, like, how long should it be? I don't know what I should do. Google the topic that you're writing about and see what pops up. What is Google ranking at the top? Is it really long content? Is that what people are wanting because that's what Google is serving? Or are they shorter, more concise answers? Or maybe are they videos? Like, you never know. So yeah, keep that in mind. Google it, and that will provide helpful.
Adrienne's just saying, I've heard there's a movement towards blog posts not needing to be as long as they used to be to rank. And I guess that kind of feels more like attention spans are getting shorter, right? So
yeah, they definitely are, according to studies and science, for sure. Like, even fun fact about how like the first impression that your homepage makes in like the early 2000s or the early 2010s, I think it was like people spent an average of like maybe 20 or 30 seconds on a website before deciding if they were going to leave. Now it's like half that. You have like 10 to 15 seconds. So attention spans are definitely getting shorter. And there definitely used to be like a best practice of like, yes, your blog post should be at least 1,000 words, or your blog post should be 2,000 words. Like I said before, don't bury the lead. If the question is easy to answer right away, you're good.
That's good advice. That's really good advice. Because if you bury it, people are just going to scroll looking for it or give up, right?
No, they'll just go somewhere else. They'll just leave the page and go find a more helpful piece of content.
Yeah, if somebody, like if you're writing all these big sort of flowery paragraphs of things, it can lose the reader, I think, can't it? Adrienne saying, we had some questions this morning in the networking session about what Offering Tree is and how you guys work. Yay! Can you cover that too, please, before we jump off? Absolutely. How can OT help people gain these SEO? Okay, so 2 sides to Adrienne's question. Who are we? What can we do? And then also a little bit about how we support SEO. So Offering Tree, who are we? We are an online software. We were developed by, it came from a seed of an idea between 2 of our co-founders, one who was managing a yoga studio at the time, and he was using a very large, clunky, famous software studio software that we won't name, but he asked his friend Eddie if he knew how to build a studio software, and Eddie said, well, that would take a lot of money and a lot of time, but it was the seed of the idea that started off. So Offering Tree became a solopreneur software to start with, because they realized there was this huge hole in the market for all the yoga teachers and wellness providers that were out there who just weren't able to really access things unless it was these rather large websites that you needed to then hire a developer to help you use. And it was like preventing people from getting online. So it started off as a website, and over the years we've built in all the extra tools to support any kind of business, whether you're just like me, a yoga teacher who teaches 2 or 3 times a week locally, or a multi-location studio all around the world. So in the software, you can find the ability to book, and clients can pay for classes, whether you're teaching online or in person. It's a website, and the website has innumerable pages that you can add, like an endless amount of pages you can add in. So you can add your about page and details on your class schedules. You can add pages about workshops or courses that you're running. You can run a membership through it, an on-demand library. It's becoming limitless what Offering Tree have built. And it's a company that relies really heavily on its community to tell us what they want to see in the software. So the team take the feedback on really, really encouragingly, good and bad, to find out how they can build out the software and to keep supporting people. So we've got this really great community of users who are in touch and talking and sharing tips and talking to the co-founders. And I think that's what sets us apart. I mean, I'm clearly a huge fan of Offering Tree, but I feel like that's what sets us apart, because it is this really authentic company. And when you meet the co-founders, and all of our community do meet the co-founders, they're just this really charming group of people who have a genuine, authentic interest in building something good. So that's how it can support wellness providers and yoga teachers in a really good way, I would say. And how we work, we're a subscription service. You can sign up monthly, you can sign up annually, you get a discount through All Mats Taken, offeringtree.com/All Mats Taken to get, let me get this right, if you buy a monthly subscription, it's 50% off the first 3 months and 15% off an annual subscription. Our basic subscription, which is called the Essentials Plan, gives you just about the entire software. For how much is it per month, Alaina? Can you remember? It's in US dollars.
It's $26 a month. I can't remember if that's the monthly price or like what it averages out to if you pay for. I feel like that's.
It might be $29 a month for monthly and $26 if you take the annual. And you get a 14-day free trial with the All Mats Taken, and it's no commitment. Like, you can cancel anytime. And yeah, it's just a great company. So then Alaina, and we'll share that link as well. And Alaina, do you want to talk about how Offering Tree supports the SEO?
Yeah, for sure. So as I touched on before, a lot of website builders don't include like built-in SEO tools, which means if you want, you have to like download a plugin to your WordPress site to do your this, that, and the other thing. But on Offering Tree, all those things are just like built right into the page and like very easy to figure out. And also there's some far more technical pieces that is not interesting to anybody that like Offering Tree takes care of right away, as far as like submitting your sitemap to Google and like ensuring that like you're being served as soon as possible, and some of those kind of things. And then also some other pieces like adding alternative text to images when you upload those, so that if people like if a blind person or somebody who can't see very well uses like a screen reader, the image will be described to them. That's what alt text is for, so that they know what's up. So yeah, a lot of those like pieces that come not built into a lot of builders or website builders, we do have.
Cool.
Oh,
Sounds
and also
good.
we do have like the blog. We have like a built-in blog piece as well. So that's another piece to it.
And Ashley's just saying in the comments, it's pretty amazing, which we agree. But that leads nice into Ashley Hagen's website course.
Yes. Yes. The final. Somebody gonna say something?
No, go for it.
Oh, okay, cool. So just the final things here. So I do have, I've made an SEO checklist for small businesses that's super detailed and incredibly robust, and has so much more than what we discussed here today. If you really want to like take a deep dive, it really like walks you through what to do. It doesn't just tell you things. I wanted it to be really helpful. So yes, if you're looking for that, that's what that is. Ashley Hagen, if anybody went to any of her events this weekend, she is awesome. And she has a website building course that actually is step-by-step guidance to build an Offering Tree site. Whether you're starting out fresh from scratch or making improvements to an existing Offering Tree site, or if you want to integrate Offering Tree features into like a site built on a different platform, also cool. And that is what her course is for. It is awesome. It's incredibly awesome. It's incredibly detailed. Wow. All the work she put into it. Kudos. Also,
Ashley just dropped the link in the chat.
Nice. And if you want to start at a slightly higher level, she does have like a free webinar that goes over how to build simple, profitable, and affordable websites for a yoga business. And then our Offering Tree free trial. Offering Tree's free trial.
It's hard to say.
I botched the last word. So yeah, it's a 7-day free trial. Oh wait, no, through all Matt's taken, it's a 14-day free trial.
Yeah.
So
Is it cool. 14 days if you input your credit card information, I think, but it doesn't charge your card. You can cancel in that 14 days, 7 days without the credit card info.
Yeah. And no matter what, no like weird aggressive sales tactics or like unwelcome aggressive follow-ups.
Yeah.
Awesome. So with that, we will gather some links to be shared. And thank you everybody for coming. I hope that this was helpful.
That was so helpful. There was so much in that. Thank you so much for coming and joining and sharing all of this today. And I just wanted to add as well, if you don't have a website, then you can start with Offering Tree to kind of have the basics of your business. And then if you already have a website, you can also, but you're looking for something to help you manage all the other back-end stuff, you can use them together as well.
Yes. If you've already got a website, you can drop us in. And since we're your last live today, I think, aren't we, Adriana? I'll say thank you so much for all your work in this summit. It's been incredible. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I've popped into some events this weekend, and it's been super fun.
Oh yay! I'm glad.
And gotten to see. I was telling Adrian, also got to see like some fun people that we know. So it's always fun to support fellow folks in the industry.
Yay. Yeah, it's fun. You start to see all the crossovers and things. So thank you so much for coming as well. And we'll have this in the replay. And I also just wanted to say, anyone watching this as a replay, please, if you've got questions, pop them in and we'll try to get you some answers as well. Because I know there's all kinds of time zones here that are in the group. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. And we'll jump off, and thank you, Ashley, as well. She's in the comments and has the amazing resources, and we'll get all those links shared for you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. See you later.
Yeah.